Oh, oh, oh. Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our most merciful Mother Sai, who in his own way brings to us his chosen ones week after week. And today is yet another blissful Sunday evening for all of us, as we are blessed to have a wonderful person whose journey definitely is slightly different from many others who would have probably come with an introduction saying, I was born into a family of devotees, or I studied in the university. He is associated with the university. He has had a pathway where he has had all his academic education, traversing the industry with international companies, and one fine day having his interview in the public at Brindavan, where he was chosen to become a faculty member in the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Now, I would be reading off a written introduction, but there is someone here who probably knows him so very well. So I'm going to request Murli Anna to do the introduction the informal way, in the Sai Govind way. Yes, Anna, to you.
Dr. Chandrasekaran, or Dr. Chase, as we all know him from close quarters, he's been an excellent devotee of Swami. He has, in the recent past, I'll start with the recent past. In the recent past, he's done an entire reminiscence of living with Swami in a series of articles which he calls as Chasing God. So Chasing God has come in something. So he's actually doing something. Actually, that itself is a lesson for a lot of us. He is reliving his experiences with Swami. So that's something that we can use as a treasure trove for all of us. And Chase, I know him from 2004, when he came back to India, and somehow, I don't know how this beautiful relationship blossomed. Swami just made it happen. So actually, both of us have asked this question a few times. How did we get to know each other? But it's been pretty interesting. But that it just somehow blossomed so well. Chase, and he's got some phenomenal, I would term it to the level of boons from Swami. And Chase, I hope you touch upon those. And if you don't, I will. So please do touch upon those as well.
Because there are so many things I might probably miss. If I miss something, you probably can prompt me. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. As a human being,
yeah.
Phenomenal.
If I miss something,
somebody whom we can learn from, all of us can learn a lot from. Yes, that's all I would like to take time out about Chase. From a Swami experiences perspective, but Chase as an individual, he is phenomenally talented. I don't know a person who knows the kind of talents that he has, but I think I'll leave that for Chase to say a few. From building gardens to building homes to engineering stuff to, he picks up things and finds things about us in
astrology.
Unraveling things in ways which is unbelievable for human beings. Yeah, like he just said, astrology. So there are the entire dimensions of Chase. Hopefully, we will try and unravel a few during this session. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Murli.
Thanks.
Over to you, sir. It's all yours. Sai Ram.
Okay, okay. Uh, Om Sri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swami. And because I had an operation in 2006 in my throat, sometime my voice may dip, the words may not be very clear. So you can always stop me and ask me what I have missed, if I not very clear, because when you speak on a continuous basis, there is sometimes my voice will dip inside and up. Okay. So it may not be very clear to some of you. So if there is a problem, difficulty, kindly interrupt me and then ask for what did I say. Okay, I will clarify again. So personally, see, there are a number of ways I can represent my experience with Swami or my family's experience with Swami. So instead of that, I was thinking about, how do I present today's talk? Instead of telling about my chase Bhagavatam, my own life story, how Swami he was the real architect of my life. In various stages, he had put certain stoppers and diversions and deflections so that I am moved in the right direction. So this happens with everybody when you look back in your own life. Oh my God, this is how Swami did it for me. Today I'm this because of that particular event. It could be a very small event, it could be a very big event or major event in your life, but it happens for a reason. So like that, Swami actually guided me throughout right from my childhood. Basically, I am not a Sai devotee. My father used to stand in front of Shirdi Baba's photos in our house. In those, the good old days, this Brahmin's house, we have a center open to the sky, and all around we have this one side is kitchen, other side is bedroom, one side is hall. Everything will be all around that center. Muttam they call in Tamil. So we are living in that type of house. So my father used to put all the gods and goddesses photographs on the wall. And one of the photographs happened to be Shirdi Sai. So he'll always take bath and then come in front of the Shirdi Sai and all the things and pray for a few minutes and go away. That's all the introduction of my Swami in Shirdi form to me in my childhood. But I was very much attracted to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, mainly because Vivekananda and how Ramakrishna Paramahamsa they met each other. What made Vivekananda to look forward to some sage who knows, who can show him the God actually. So every time, Vivekananda used to run as a child, used to run to in front of the house. There is a small street that was going on. So whenever any sadhu goes walking around, Vivekananda used to those days Narendra, no, he used to walk, run outside and ask that sage, have you seen God? Then the God, the sage will look here and there, suddenly facing a very tough question from a child. Then he is not interested. The moment the person is thinking about it, that means he has not seen the God. So Vivekananda was not interested. He used to run back into the house. Then this was going on, and one day Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was walking on the same street, and Vivekananda runs in front of the house, asks him the same question. Have you seen God? He said, yes, I've seen God. Then he asked, can you show him to me? He said, yes, I can show him to me. This is how the first meeting of the Guru and the disciple happened. And this made me a great impact in my life. Sorry. So I was also thinking that in the place where I lived in Karaikal, which is a French territory, a part of the Pondicherry state, French occupied colony, later handed over to the Indian government. There is it is a small village like Puttaparthi only. It is like a city in a village. Many temples in almost every street. There is a Shiva temple or a Vishnu Ranganatha temple. So many other temples around. So I grew up with the environment of temples and their prayers, and then the during the month of Shunya Masa, that Margari Masa. So all the prayers will be going on. I used to go to the temple regularly, and I always believed that like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa came in front of Vivekananda's house and guided him later, one day I will also meet somebody in front of my house. But little did I know that instead of somebody showing God, and I'm going to be with God himself in Puttaparthi. So that was not known to me at that time. But this way the introduction was happened, I had a very close family friend and doctor who used to attend to my family needs also. My father used to go to his house regularly. He was a Sai devotee. And in his house, the old photograph Swami sitting on that chair with the lion-faced chair with legs around like a lion-faced one. Swami used to wear a long chain, huge chain also. Very young photograph. So that's the photograph he had. And from the photograph, from 1 feet, the vibhuti will be pouring and actually materializing and falling onto a plate. Another feet, the kumkum used to materialize and used to fall on the another plate. My father is invariably say, "Hey, you got your mark list? No, go and show it to Dr. Sitaraman." So I used to run to his house to get his asirvadam from him. So I used to run to his house. Every time he say, "Hey, come, take namaskar." Then he used to make me to do namaskar in front of Baba. But I was not interested. Because my mind is with the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the Kali Upasana. I used to sit in Shiva's temple in front of Parvati Devi or Shakti and do all my meditation prayers in front of that. My mind was towards goddess. Little that I know that Swami is all forms are his. I had no idea at that time. So whenever the Dr. Sitaram used to call me, "Hey, come on, take namaskar." Then I used to take full Sashtanga namaskar, and then he used to take the vibhuti from the plate and used to apply on my forehead. This is how my opening was there. After that, I moved on because my father passed away subsequently. Then my mother moved. Recording has stopped, I think. Okay. So we moved to Madras, and then after that, in the connection with Swami, and then in my life has completely lost. In the meantime, I have, with a lot of struggle, I finished my education, engineering, and then worked for some time, and then saved some money, gave it to my mother, then went for IISc for my post-graduation. Then after post-graduation, I joined Tata Consulting Engineers as a thermal power projects division as a consultant. Salary was very low, so I have to leave and then go to Middle East. 10 years in the Middle East, not much contact with the Baba. Then we moved to Australia. We migrated to Australia. And I don't know why we chose Australia to migrate to. And now we know that because only in Australia, we came very close to Swami. We became a really ardent devotee of Swami because of the exposure in Australia. There are many events happened. Let me first explain a few things. After I finished my PhD, I was writing my thesis, and then I was going to US to give a talk in one of the conferences. As I was leaving for US, my wife was worried about me because she was not accompanying. She was working in the job. She didn't want to leave the job. So she said, "Please carry Baba's photo," because she was actually going to a samiti where the Baba's bhajans were being sung. So because she was getting bored, I was doing PhD, and so she had time to go to the samiti, and she used to go regularly. So she gave me the photo of Swami, saying, "Please carry this photo." I said, "No, I don't want to carry the photo. I don't believe in Baba and all. I don't want to carry this." He said, "No, please, for my sake, please carry." So she insisted that I should carry. So I don't want to give her attention because I'm already had during my Middle East job, I had a heart attack, a triple bypass. My heart stopped, I almost died, and then came back alive, all because of Swami. So because she'll be very much worried that I'm traveling alone into US and other things and with the heart condition. So I don't want to give her more headache. So I took the photograph and put it in my purse. She said, I prayed to Swami that he should travel with you wherever you go. I just laughed at her because I never believed in those things. Then I said, see, if Swami, if you believe in Swami is God, why should I have to carry the photograph? He's everywhere. So he will be with me everywhere. Why should I have to carry the photograph? I was arguing, like a typical argumentative Indian. So that is how happened. So I traveled to US. In the US, there are a few exposures happened. Swami was building my foundation for the path which I should choose later. The path which I am pursuing now, Swami was laying the foundation for it in US. The first exposure is that after finishing my talk in Florida, so my friends and all, everybody was going to Universal Studios in Florida. He said, come on, let's go and have some fun. And then, so we all went. In the Universal Studio, there is a pavilion, a Star Trek pavilion. So we were all asked to sit on a chair. We were actually put like a seat belt on the chair and we were sitting. There's a huge screen in front of us. And suddenly, the lights were dimmed off and then there were in front of us, I saw some stars in the screen. And then there's an engine starting sound coming. And then chair started slowly rocking. And then the ship, the airship was taking off and flying into the sky. And it is traveling through various galaxies. And, I could see the Jupiter, Saturn, the rings. It was so real. And as the ship was going in at different angles, the chair was also tilting. So it was actually giving the experience to me that I am actually traveling in a spaceship. So the whole thing went on for an hour. Everything was happy and finished. And then when I finished everything, I said, wow. I said, what an experience. Because I never could have believed that by sitting in a chair and the chair rocking me here and there and then feeding my senses accordingly, there could be an illusion created in me that I am actually flying a spaceship into, and seeing all stars and skies and galaxies and all. So if that can be done, what God would have done? If a man can create this illusion, what God could be done? This is just initial spark Swami gave. Then I went around US and then subsequently I landed in London. In London, my previous boss in the Middle East, he was living there. Last year he passed away at the age of 85 or something, Corona and COVID problem. So he and his family, they all came to the airport to pick me up. So he was actually walking with a walking stick. So I said, Vijay, his name is Vijay, what happened? Why are you walking with the stick? Because I know him as a very healthy and strong, well-built guy. And suddenly I find him that he's walking with a stick. So he said, no, don't worry. I will tell you everything when you come home. So we all went to his house. And then he asked me how long you're going to stay. I said, I'm going to stay for 2 weeks. Okay, fine, good. We'll have a good time. So we talked about all our previous office problems, everything in the Middle East, everything. Then he said, Chase, I was bedridden for more than a year. And from the hip onwards, there was no action. I was bedridden. Then he said he had a lot of bed sore and he was suffering. In fact, he was cursing himself why he is living. The reason why this happened, that is below the hip, he could not actually there was no action at all, no sense at all. He had this problem and then he went to many doctors. The doctors, everybody said, oh, this is pinching of nerves in the spinal cord. So if you put it on a traction, we will remove the pinching nerves out of the spine, which is pinching it, and then you'll be all right. So he consulted so many top consultants in that area. Everybody said, yes, you have a problem of pinching of nerves in the spinal. column. So he finally put himself in the traction, but actually what happened, the traction, they damaged his nerves even further. And the reason is he was suffering due to a diabetic neuropathy. Not diabetic retinopathy. Retinopathy is related to the eye. This is diabetic neuropathy. Doctors misdiagnosed him as the pinching of nerves. They put him on a traction. They pulled the nerves out, and what was weak earlier got damaged further. So he was declared as a invalid and disabled by the government of UK, and he was put on a pension. He was lying on the bed. After more than a year or so, when he was really cursing himself, one day his daughter saw a advertisement in the paper saying that a Greek lady healing, she does healing, and there are people who are sitting in wheelchair, they are able to walk within a week. And she said, Papa is suffering, so let me take Vijay to that Greek lady. So he went there. He had 6 sessions. Believe it or not, on 6th session he started walking. So that was a great thing. And then from then on, he was going regularly to a church for getting a further healing done. Because in UK there is a church, a society of spiritual healers. They all assemble in a church and they do free healing service every Sunday. So he went regularly to that those sessions, and then he was in that this person was doing session for him happens to be a Sai devotee. So that person gave Baba's photo and told him, you keep it in the house, it might help your healing. So when I walked into the house from the airport, as he opened the thing, there was a staircase going to the first floor. In the first landing area, the Baba's photo was there. It was a shocking thing for me because I know Jain. Jain doesn't believe in all this religious stuff. He's a guy who's very scientific, very logical, totally different person. And in his house, I see Baba. Then it was a reminder to me saying that when my wife sent me saying that I asked Baba to travel with you wherever you go. And it was really a miracle for me because a person who doesn't believe in Baba, he's having a Baba's photo in the house, and then I have been shown that, hey, I'm waiting for you here. So this is how it happened. But what happened is that Swami not only initiated me that the world you see by feeding appropriate signals into your senses, you can create an illusion. That means the world itself is an illusion because the entire sensory information gives you an illusory world in front of you. So that is the foundation laid by Swami for me, first one. Second, I was not into Swami, but Swami wanted to draw me faster. So what he did, as the Jain was going into the healing sessions, because I was there for 2 weeks, he said, why don't you also come with me? I said, okay. I don't believe in those things, but anyway, I'll come, I told him. So he went, he sat in the chair, his healing session was going on. I was sitting in the reception, reading all the magazines. And then his daughter is also Venu. She also had some stomach problem. So another lady was Margaret. She was doing the session for her, for healing the stomach problem. I was sitting there reading magazine. After some time, his daughter came to me. I said, Uncle, that Margaret wants to do healing for you. She says, you need help. I said, I don't need help. I'm perfectly all right. I had a heart problem many, many years back, 1988. Now we are talking about 1994. Almost 6-7 years, nothing happened to me. I'm traveling nicely and absolutely no problem. I don't want any healing and all. No, she says, you need help. And then I said, okay, I don't want to upset her because I am staying with them and they're very nice people. I said, okay, Mom, do I have to pay anything? I said, no, nothing is free. Then when do I have to take appointment? He said, no, she's ready. She wants to do it now. I said, okay. Because the healing session, what they were doing, they were not even touching the person. They were doing outside like this, chronic healing, without touching the body. I said, these guys are there, they don't even touch me. What can they do to me? So let me go. So I went and sat in the chair. While I was sitting in the chair, suddenly, I was feeling, she said, close your eyes. So I closed my eyes. She was doing the healing, but I could feel where her hand was. Her hands were. as the hands were going down, I could feel the warmth in my body was also going down and it was going up. So without even opening my eyes, I can pinpointedly say that her hand is somewhere here. So that was the first experience of thinking that there must be something in this healing session. Otherwise, why should I have to feel the energy flowing into body, and then wherever I feel the hand there, I feel the warmth there. So there is something going on. So I understood there is something going on, but I cannot understand the reason. Then everything was over. She said, "Sir, if you want to come next week, you need to have one more session." I'll tell one Mr. John, he will do it for you. I said, I am here only for 2 weeks. Unless Mr. Jain comes again next week, I cannot come. So she said, no. Then said, no, I come every week, you come. So next week there's another guy who was a half-blind guy, a big fellow. He said, he put his hand on me. He said, Chase, Margaret told all about you. I said, I didn't tell anything to Margaret. I didn't tell anything about myself, about my heart condition, nothing I told. But still, he said, no, she told everything about you. Please come, I'll do it for you. So he made me to sit in a chair. That particular day, London, very difficult to see sunlight. The sunlight was coming, sun was shining through the church, the colored glass in the church. It was coming directly on my face. And then he said, close your eyes and pray. Whomsoever you want to pray. I want to do the healing for you. I closed my eyes. Because the sun was falling on my third eye, I was chanting Aditya Hridayam continuously. Because my parents have taught me Aditya Hridayam. My uncle had also taught me. They said, if you chant Aditya Hridayam, you will be successful in your life. So, the sun, every day morning after doing my Sandhya, I used to go to the terrace. And then I used to chant because it was sun, beautifully sun was for there is started kicking on my back. Something from the bottom of my spine, something was trying to come up. Whole body was rocking. He said, don't open your eyes unless I tell you. So I could not open my eyes. So I was sitting there and I was not able to sit because it was kept on kicking like this. Then one time I almost thought that I should open my eyes and say, hey, something going on. What is it? What are you doing? But I didn't open. But moment when I was about to open my eyes, at the moment, from my Muladhara, the people talk about 7 chakras. Muladhara, sudden gush of energy to my third eye. There was an explosion. I saw galaxies of colors. And it was so beautiful and so blissful. I had never had that experience in my life. And that's the first time. Then that person kept his hand on my shoulder. Then he said, how are you feeling? I said, fantastic. What did you do to me? This is the explosion I saw. He said, no, Margaret and myself, we had a discussion. We saw your aura. You are a spiritually oriented person. You need some help. You needed some help to kindle your, Kundalini. So we did that. So now the path is a little bit opened up. You will, God is there for you. He will protect you. God blesses you. Don't worry. Go. So I came back. When I came back, within few years of my return, I became the service coordinator in Sai Samiti. After 2 years later, I became a spiritual coordinator. There are a few things happened during my stay as a Samiti work. Then we decided that only Swami is our refuge. We packed our bags. We gave a letter to Swami. Swami took the letter. The moment Swami took the letter, we packed our bags and came to Puttaparthi. And Swami blessed me with a job. And then 18 years, I was under Swami. But I need to tell what happened. What was the turning point in my life? Because I was a cat on the wall, Because my wife Revati, she was going regularly to Samiti. And then one day she was sitting I used to sit at the back. I never used to participate in the bhajan and all. I never believed in Swami. So I sat at the back because I used to take her by car, drop her. After Samiti's work is over, I used to pick her I used to take her back home. Because the Samiti is around 50 kilometers away from my house. So the traveling for her it will be difficult by train and all. So I used to drop her, wait for her, and pick her up. During this session, one of the ladies, from a charitable organization, she came, said she addressed all the Sai devotees, saying that we are Ardor Foundation. We are feeding children morning breakfast, and we are feeding one school initially. A lot of single mothers, they're coming, and we need about 27 liters of milk per week, but we are getting only 5 to 10 liters, sometimes 5 liters, sometimes 10 liters. So we are not able to sustain the program. So we request the Sai devotees to donate the long life milk. And then somebody asked, what do you do if the milk is shortage? What do you do? He said, what can we do? We cannot tell 10 children saying that today you will get the breakfast, other people don't get the breakfast. All children have to be fed. So we add water, dilute the milk, then give the breakfast with the diluted milk. The moment I heard that they are feeding children with diluted milk, I could not bear. It is maybe Sai's organization, what they are doing. But the moment that lady said, we are, immediately I looked at my wife, and she also turned and looked at me. We nodded our head. That means from now on, we will give the milk. That means no more dilution of milk. So we decided that we'll give 27 liters every week. But 27 liters, he doesn't know. They come in boxes 10. So we gave 2 boxes, 3 boxes of 30 liters. Now they were getting 30 liters plus they are also getting 10 liters before. Suddenly they're getting, in place of 27 liters, they were getting 40 liters. They said, oh my God, we are getting regularly 40 liters. Why not we extend it to one more school? So they extended one more school. They came back and said that now we extended one more school because of your support. Now we need 40 liters regularly. Please help. Then we increased our quota from 30 because our conviction is that we should not allow them to dilute the milk. Very simple. So we increased our milk quantity to 40. Then like that, 1 school, 2 schools, it went to 11 schools. We ended up giving 120 liters of milk every week. When we left Australia, we were giving so much milk, and in fact we went to Ardor Foundation. We gave some funds saying that until you find some other sponsorer, so at least for 1 year, you need to have this money, please. So they are very thankful. And so what I'm trying to say is that the doors of charity in your heart, it's very difficult to open. But once it's opened, very difficult to close. Because once you open, it's open because for a reason. But since open, then the reason is violated. Your assumptions are violated. Obviously, you cannot close it. This is how it is. Swami knowing very well that I really like serving people. I like children because we don't have children. So he pulled me into Sai's activities in terms of a service. People are watching me and Revati bringing the 120 liters of milk every week. So the chairperson, Margot Tulantes, she is from Greek lady. She and another service coordinator, Kemseng, is from Vietnam. Both of them came to me saying that Kemseng is finishing his service coordinator role. We want you to become the service coordinator. I told them, see, I'm not a Sai devotee. I don't want to be a service coordinator because in your group, you always talk about Sai, Baba, is God, he came in my dream. So many things all of you discuss. Because I know, because doing my service activity, bringing time, I overhear all your conversations. And I don't know about Baba. I don't want to be part of this group. Okay, I am doing help because, you're all doing great service. I'm trying to support. They said, no. What we need, Baba needs is that someone who can serve with love. You don't have to know about Baba. You become a service coordinator and then take care of everything. You don't have to come for discussion, no satsang, no other meeting. You don't have to be participate in any of those things. So that is how I entered Sai's fold as a service coordinator. So during the service coordinator role, during 1 year, Swami, Swami always, he makes certain foundations along the way. the second foundation he laid during service coordinator role. He said after everything is over, we used to even clean the toilet, wind up everything, pack everything, put everything there, and then all this the Samiti members, the key members, organizers, we used to go to nearby restaurant for a cup of coffee. During the coffee time only, they used to talk about how Swami came in their dream, how Swami came in their dream, and then how Swami guided them and all. I used to listen to all these things, and then during the but I always used to feel that why Swami is not coming in my dream. I'm doing so much service, although I'm not into Swami, but I'm doing so much service, and you should be happy. You should also come and tell me what I'm writing around. Why he is not coming? Maybe because I'm not a devotee. So I'm answering myself, and this was going on for many months. During the time, the previous service coordinator said, hey, there's somebody selling a book called I Am That, which is a Nisargadatta Maharaj, another saint. And Swami talked about him also. So do you like to buy the book? I said, yeah, why not? How much is the book? He said, they're selling at a 50% rate, and we'll go, you and me will go and buy the book. So this is the book, I Am That, Nisargadatta Maharaj. So I went with him and bought the book. It's about $20 I paid there. I opened the book, I started reading. I couldn't understand the tail of it. They're all very high funda, not in this world. I said, this is not for me. I kept the book in the shelf. Today, that is my Bible, actually. So I kept the book without touching it. In the meantime, my mind is going on, why I'm not getting dream and all. Every time I said, okay, maybe today, I look at the photograph of Swami, demand that he should come in my dream, and then sleep. So I used to look at the photograph, Swami, today you should come in my dream. So I said, I can talk to the fellows tomorrow. Swami also came in my dream during coffee time. I used to look at the Swami's photograph and then put my head down in the pillow. Within 2 minutes, I go into deep sleep. I never got Swami at all in my dream. Even today, I never got Swami in the dream. So I used to feel very bad, saying that maybe I am a very bad guy, too much karma I'm carrying in my bag. So maybe I don't deserve that, the one who everybody calls him Avatar and God, that to come in my dream and all that. I used to with a low esteem, I used to, think about myself. Then after 6 months of reading so many other books, one day I was looking at the same book, I Am That. I said, why not I read this book again? So I took the book, started reading. Believe it or not, things which I could not understand, almost every chapter, everything I was understanding very nicely. The few foundations were laid by Swami. It will come along the way when I'm talking. One thing what opened is, in one of the pages, Swami, Nisargadatta Maharaj and his disciple, they're sitting opposite to each other. The disciple is asking, Maharaj, you are telling that you and me talking in this life is a dream. Is it really a dream? Maharaj says, yes, it's a dream. How can it be? I can ask questions, you are thinking and your eyes are blinking, and then after that you are answering my questions, and I can touch you, I can feel you, you are there. Physically you are there, I can touch you. How can this be a dream? He said, no, my dear, this is a dream. The only difference is that I have come in your dream to wake you up. Very simple statement. Then it struck me that I don't have to sleep to get a dream in which Baba has to come. The life which I am actually currently going through, the prarabdha karma, whatever the life I'm going through, that the waking state they call, that itself is a dream. Swami has come in Puttaparthi to wake me up. So in my dream, he has already come. So why I have to look at the photograph and say, go to sleep and say, Swami, please come in my dream and all. So So that particular, the problem was solved for me. Then later when I did a lot of research as a spiritual coordinator, I read in one of the discourse, Swami says, I come like a roaring lion to wake you all up, to wake all of you up. So that was confirmed that the life we live is a dream. Okay. And Swami laid the foundation that is an illusion which can be created. It is by through sensory, by feeding the right sensory information in the senses, an illusion can be created, which could be so real. So the life itself is a dream. That means our senses are fed, so we are feeling that as a dream as a real. But actually, it is nothing else is real. Everything is illusion. Also, in the book, Nisargadatta Maharaj says, not only this is a dream, in the dream you are alone. See, that's a very profound statement, because when I am giving a talk, this is my dream. I see Venkatraman there, I see Murali there, I see so many other people are in the thing. Okay, I see that. That's why I'm giving a talk. If they are all illusion, to whom I am giving a talk? Correct. So I totally believe in this one. So it is very hard to believe that that everything else is an illusion. I am alone in this dream. But in the Nisargadatta Maharaj book, it says you are alone in this dream. So one day, after becoming a HOD, I need to jump some few things here and there. Let the flow come. I was working as HOD and I used to work very, very late in the night, because Swami in the interview in 2008 told me, touched my heart and said, keep me in the heart, Hridaya, and do my work. So that was my Veda work, that is, dictum for me, saying that the coming to Mandir, seeing Swami in physical presence became secondary to me. Doing his work in the job, finishing all the things I need to be finished on that day. And if I have time, if Swami is still there in the Mandir, then I go to Mandir, have darshan. Many times I've gone like this. In fact, gone very late. Sometimes Swami used to come at 4 o'clock. Those days, 4:30 used to come. When I used to run to Mandir around 6:30, Swami was still sitting there in the Mandir giving darshan. Then as soon as I go there and sit along with my veranda, my other colleagues, and then Swami will, within 2 minutes, Swami will give signal and then the chair will turn and then he'll go back to his residence. So everybody will say, hey, Swami, it seems Swami is waiting for you, like that. I said, I internally used to thank Swami, thank you for, giving me that darshan and all. But one day, I came around 6:30 or something like that. Swami was already sitting for almost 2 hours. When I came, it was jam-packed. Some festival is coming nearby. So the whole hall was fully loaded up. And the veranda is full with all the visitors, other state presidents from other states and from foreigners, fully packed. So I came very late. I looked at the place and I couldn't get even a pin. You can't even put a pin. That much is no space. So I was very upset internally. And ego comes up. Swami, I am doing your work. I am coming after doing your work to have darshan of you. Here, all those guys were coming here for one day, half a day. They want to do a flying visit to see you. They are all sitting and enjoying your darshan. Whereas I am doing your work and coming running to your thing and I don't even have a place to sit, Swami. So I was standing near the pillar and my mind was asking this question to Swami. Swami was not looking at me. He was looking at directly, in front. But I was looking at Swami and asking this question, Swami, what is this? Why I am not getting a place, even a place for me to sit and then have your darshan? Instantly, Swami's answer came in my mind like a flash. See, the life you are currently going through is a dream. In the dream, I have come to give you darshan to you. Whether you sit in the first row or 10th row does not matter. It's a dream. So enjoy the darshan while it lasts. Very clear, like hitting me with my head. Hey, idiot, this is a dream. Why are you fighting for us? I don't have a place to sit and all those things. Doesn't matter where you sit. I come here, you have look at me and enjoy, and I enjoy the darshan. So I was so happy because suddenly I got relieved. Then one of my friends from MBA department, he said, Thakkar, he said, hey, Chase, come, I will adjust some space for you. So he pushed himself, and then I sat next to him. Since I was so happy, I asked him, can you give me a piece of paper? I want to write something. So he tore some two sheets of paper to me. In that paper, I wrote a poem to Swami. It was flowing like, without even thinking about it. Swami, if my life is a dream, who will cry when I die? Because when I die, the dream will end. So there is nobody to cry. Who will cry when I die? If I have to live this dream, for whom shall I cry? Because there is nobody else. Everything is an illusion. For whom shall I cry? Then they say, because I remembered at the time Nisargadatta Maharaj, I quoted him saying, they say, I am truly alone in my dream, Swami, but you have come in my dream to wake me up. Since you have come, am I alone, Swami? Since you are there in my dream, now that you have come, no? So I am not alone. Then for this, Swami, you answer, you and I are one. Now I realize I am truly alone, Swami. This is a poem I wrote. And I kept the chit. And then Swami, within 5 minutes, Swami's chair was moving out as if he was trying to go back to his residence. The people in the front row, they all got up slowly, and because they were sitting for more than 2 hours, some people had some urgent work to do. They, without making any fuss, quietly they slipped out of the veranda. So I got a first row. So I went and sat in the first row because I thought at least in the first row I can sit and see Swami till he goes inside his residence. But what Swami did, he came through the doctor's side, came behind the Ganesha, and came back to the front in front of me. I was holding this paper of poem in my hand. I prayed to Swami. I was not very keen to give it to him because it's a torn paper. It is not properly, cut size, clean paper. I thought some other day I'll write the same thing and give it to Swami. But I was holding it. Swami came, his wheelchair crossed me. I said, okay, Swami is not going to take it. But he put his hand without even seeing me like this, with the 2 fingers back, pulled my poem away, and then went. So that was my confirmation on that day that the life what we live is a dream. Everything else is an illusion. So don't bother too much about it. If you win $100 million in a dream, next day morning you wake up, you are not lost $100 million. It is in a dream. Same thing like that in your life, all pain and pleasures, they're part of the dream. So don't get worked up too much. So this is the lesson I learned on that day. And another important thing, I learned, you can connect with Swami without needing an intermediary. Most of the time, we think that he is so close to Swami. If I catch him, then I can catch Swami. We don't need that because Swami is all about your heart-to-heart connection. So many incidents where I asked for certain clarifications, I prayed to him for some help. Everything happened from heart to heart. There is no talk. Physically, he never stood in front of me, asked me, what happened? How is your family? No such discussions at all. So let me give a very simple things first. One day I was sitting in veranda, and before I give this story, when I landed in from Australia to Puttaparthi, I didn't know how to join the university. So I gave my letter to the HOD at the time. HOD kept it on the table, and then the summer holidays came, he left. So the application never went to registrar and people, but I went directly to registrar. I told that I given the application. Can you please help me? He said, no, the application has to come from HOD recommending that he is suitable for our thing, and then we will show it to Swami, talk to Swami, and Swami blesses, you will be appointed. But the letter never went, and the HOD is already gone. What do I do? So I prayed to Swami, Swami, you brought me all the way from Australia to Puttaparthi. If you want me, you make it happen. I am not going to run behind the HOD saying, please send the letter, and then go to the registrar, kindly show it to Swami. I'm not going to follow all those things. If you want me, if my fate is that I should serve you under your lotus feet, please make it happen. So I left it to Swami. So on 8th of March 2004, I landed in Puttaparthi. On 20th of April 2004 in Vrindavan, I was holding a letter of Swami. Swami, kindly take this letter and bless me with a job. So Swami has broken his hip at the time. He was not walking for 3-4 days, and then slowly started walking. Then third day, he came to my side, which is a foreigner side. He was giving vibhuti, collecting letters. Slowly, he was limping and walking. I was holding my letter. My heart was pumping. I never had interaction with Swami in my life. In the Samiti coordinator, we do all those pujas, everything, and Samiti activities we do. I never came as a claiming that I am a spiritual coordinator, sit in the veranda, and I never did all those things. So I never had any opportunity to talk to Swami, So that particular day, I was holding the letter in the foreigner side. Swami was walking slowly close to me, and he took the letter till the person sitting next to me. Then he turned 180 degrees, was standing facing opposite side. And then he was gesturing like this, and he was about to move to the opposite side. I was, Swami standing in front of me, the robe, I can see the robe in my face. I almost felt like holding Swami's robe and saying, Swami, you're so close, you're so far, please turn and then take my letter and bless. I was so much worked up inside. I did not hold his robe. They would have thrown me out of the area. But internally, I was, begging Swami, please help me out. And then Swami again turned 180 degrees, looked at me very seriously. Hey, you're going to pull my robe, huh? Like that. Looked at me and pulled my letter out of my hand. So I was very happy that Swami has taken the letter. Now he will read the letter. And then if he wants me to serve Swami, he will make it happen. But as he was walking away, Swami's voice was very, very clear in my heart, saying that, hey, you want to talk to me? Talk to me now. It was like a joke because I never spoke to Swami. I don't have the courage even to raise my voice to Swami. So, but Swami's voice saying that if you want to talk to me now. So then what? He crossed one person, he crossed the second person. Then I collected all the courage possible. I said, Swami. Then he turned around and said, what? I said, Swami, I want to serve your university, Swami. He said, where? Prasanthi Nilayam. What subject? Then I said, Swami, computer science and maths. Then he nodded his head like this. Then I became a bit more relaxed. I said, Swami, we packed our bags and came permanently to Swami to be with you. Then he said, I'm very Romba Sandosha, Chala Sandosha. In Tamil, he said, I didn't introduce him that I'm a Tamilian, but he answered me in Tamil saying that I'm very happy. Then, in the meantime, Swami, I have given the letter to registrar and told everybody, they are all waiting for your blessing, Swami. Swami said, I will tell them, but I didn't hear him properly. So Swami then walked away. Then everybody, the darshan was over. So I also got up and then I was going, mentally I don't know what Swami said. I told him that I gave the letter to some HOD and everybody. But what Swami gave reply, I couldn't hear him because Swami spoke very, very softly. As I was walking, Swami, I don't know what he said. How will I know? Who will tell me what he said? I was thinking this. I was walking towards the Gokulam to have my breakfast. As I was walking, the Sevadal was actually looking after the bay. He came behind me. He said, hey, sir, you lied to Swami. I said, I didn't lie. You said you are an Australian. You lied to me. You are not an Australian. You are an Indian. I said, no, yeah, I am an Indian, but now naturalized in Australia. I have an Australian passport. So I am an Australian citizen. Oh, okay. I mistook it. Then I said, where were you? I said, no, I was the one in charge of the bay. Did you hear all the conversation? Yes, everything I heard. I said, oh, in that case, will you please tell me what Swami said when I told him that I gave the letter to him? Swami said, I will tell the Vice Chancellor and everybody. That's all. So even that small thing I had, Swami clarified that aspect to that person. Then I joined Swami's institution. He gave PhD candidates. All this thing went on. Then what happened during that particular session with Swami in Vrindavan? He spoke with me. He had I had a darshan of him. I had a sambhashan of him, but no sparishan of him. So in somewhere in one of the discourses, he said, if you get darshan, sparishan and sambhashan, then your life is redeemed forever. I got 2 out of 3. One is still missing. So I was always worried, when will Swami touch me and bless me? This is always going on in my heart, longing for it. So one day I was sitting in the veranda. Anil Kumar sir was talking to Swami. So Swami was turning it to him on the left side. Anil Kumar was listening to him. He was giving some instructions. While Swami was giving instructions, in his hand, a fly came and sat. The fly was looking at Swami, and it was opening the fly wing and then flapping it. I looked at it and I became very jealous of the fly. This fly is doing sambhashan, trying to talk to Swami, and it is touching Swami. It is sitting on Swami's hand. It is touching Swami, and it is looking at Swami. It is having darshan. This fly is having all the 3, and I am not having it. So I immediately borrowed a paper from somebody nearby. I wrote, Swami, even a fly can have your grace of all the 3, sparishan, sambhashan, darshan, everything. What about me? When are you going to touch me and bless me? And then gave it. I was holding this paper, and then I was chanting a Sai Gayatri every day. 10 days, Swami will look at me, he'll walk away. He'll look at me, walk away. So I was not giving up. I said, one day Swami has to take this letter. He'll read the letter, and then some other time he'll bless me. So I kept the letter with me, and 10 days I was doing it. 10th day, one Professor Sood from physics department. He said, hey, Chase, you have been holding the letter for 10 days to give it to Swami. Today, I will go backwards. You come and sit here in the front. Swami will come very close this way only. I am in this row. You are the first one. So you give the letter to Swami. I know that this is also Swami's Leela. So I went and sat in the front row. Swami, the golf cart came. Swami got down from there. He looked at me. I looked at him with so much reverence. I was holding the piece of paper, asking Swami, kindly bless me. But in my mind, Swami will take the letter. When there is a time is there, whenever there is a time available for him, he will read the letter. After reading the letter, if he thinks that I deserve to be touched and given, then one day he will say Bangaru, and then he will touch my cheek and then bless me. Like that. This is my own thinking of the human way of thinking, what the sequence of events, what will happen. So as I was looking at Swami with my paper in my hand, Swami nodded his head, asking me to come to him to give the paper to the letter. So I immediately slid across and knelt in front of him and gave the letter. As I was giving the letter, this is thinking, now Swami will take the letter. One day he will bless me. You know what Swami did? He extended his left hand to take the letter from me, and he extended the right hand to me. I was not, it didn't strike me why he was extending his right hand towards me. Then I was thinking, confused. I said, Swami, why is he extending his hand? Then internally, Swami is saying, idiot, this is where the fly was sitting. And you are jealous of it. I am handing over, take it. Then I held Swami's hand, kissed it, and then I put it on my forehead, thanked Swami full of tears. What is the message that I got out of this? Is Swami does not have to read a letter. I wrote the letter. I was thinking that Swami one day will read the letter and he will act upon it. Typical management, in any multinational company, somebody writes a memo on this and that. No, he took the letter on one hand, instant gratification. He extended the hand on the other side. He satisfied my sparshan, what I was looking for. So this was a wonderful thing happened for me. And because Swami gave a student and the first student PhD, and so that fellow is a farm boy. Swami used to ask him how is the research going on and all. And then one day he said, Swami is going on okay. He said, when are you going to write the thesis, submit the thesis and all? Swami, if you tell, I'll do. Then he said, Swami said, okay, I'll tell you, start writing thesis. Swami, then he said, no, Swami, you cannot say like this. My supervisor will kill me. And then, my supervisor has to tell me that I am ready for writing thesis. Then I'll write thesis. Submit. So he said, okay, who is your supervisor? He said, Chandrasekaran Swami. Okay, you bring him. I'll call you and him for an interview. In the interview, I'll tell him. See, this is how Swami creates an opportunity. It's not that Swami does not know. Swami wanted to bless me for all the sincere work I'm doing with the student, guiding him, all those things. He wanted to bless me. And also he wanted to make sure that this guy is doing the right thing. So Swami, first interview happened on 27th of February 2008. Myself and Bala, Dr. Bala, now is Dr. Bala Subramaniam. We were inside the Swami's room. And then Swami, I was sitting on Swami's right-hand side. Bala was sitting in front of him, pressing Swami's feet. And then Swami looked at me. Then I said, Swami, we have come from Australia. And the only reason we have come is to be guided by you in the spiritual path. So please protect us. Please guide us. Whatever need to be done, please tell us what to do. Swami looked at me. He said, reduce your anger a little bit. Because few weeks before, one of the professors from physics department and myself, we had a very big fight actually, in a meeting. I was in his room in the physics department. He threw me out. He said, get out of my room. Because he didn't like the points of view which I have been bringing it. Because there was somebody who was giving 50 crores to set up a research lab. And then there was a committee was formed so that every department's needs are accounted for. So I was representing the computer science department. And this man hates computer. He says, I will not give 1 paisa for your computer. I said, who are you to say that? It is Swami's money. And Swami is watching. You cannot say that. So then he got irritated and he said, told me to get out and then all this thing. And then I said, see, you people are very senior people here. We are coming from outside. We want to learn something from you, but today, the performance is not good. I showed my disrespect and unhappiness and walked out of the room. This happened 2 weeks before. So Swami was telling me, reduce koncham kopam kami chesko. Then I said, then I know Swami, what Swami is referring to. I said, Swami, I know, but if somebody is doing a great blunder and, not correct things, not dharmic way, should I not have to stand up to their thing? Because I always felt, even in Mahabharata, Duryodhana and everybody, when they disrobed Draupadi, all those people were kept silent. Drona, Bhishma, who could have easily stopped it. They kept quiet. And they were all finished at the end. So I don't want to be like them. Even something, adharma act going on in front of my eyes, I said, I will give my life to stop it. This is my conviction. So on that day also, I had, angrily, I told the guy. So, but Swami is saying that, that's okay. But here I am in charge. The university and the whole thing, it is my control and I will take care of it. You don't have to, even if you are right, don't have to reduce anger. That's one aspect. This other aspect is, the six, what they call the dirts a human being is having: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All the six evil qualities a man should get rid of. In that, krodha is basically comes because of ego and because of the desire, so many things, because of the desire not getting fulfilled, you will make a tantrum. So, one word, what Swami is saying that, hey guy, all the six qualities are bad quality, you have it in plenty. So, indirectly, instead of telling me, putting me up, he could have easily upset me, saying that you are a very bad guy, you got too much of desire, too much of this, too much of that. He could have told me, but he simply said, reduce your anger. So what you are saying is, reduce all the six, automatically anger will go. So it's a very nice way of, Swami is a motherly way of telling, giving me the guidance. So from then on, I'm trying very hard, but sometimes people get on nerves. I can't help it. But I know my weakness and I am correcting it. And then I say, sorry, Swami, you told me and I'm trying hard. So, but knowing what weaknesses we have and understanding that we should work on it, that itself is a grace. There are many people don't even know that. Many people, they misbehave, everything, they think that what they're doing is right. They don't even recognize that they are doing bad things. So at least in that aspect, I am very blessed by Swami to know my weaknesses, to know my faults, so that I can work on them. So that is another important lesson I learned on the day. Then Swami said, where is your wife? I said, Swami, my wife has gone to Chennai because my mother-in-law broke the hip. You know what I told Swami in the interview room? Swami, like you, my mother-in-law also fell down and broke the hip. See, in the room, when we are with Swami, you feel as though he is your, elderly person. You're part of your family. You can talk freely. I never realized you were talking to God. It was so friendly atmosphere. I told him, Swami, like you, my mother-in-law also fell down and broke the hip. She had an operation, which you blessed. We gave a letter to you, and you blessed it. So after your blessing, we went ahead with the operation. So my wife, gone to look after her mother. Then Swami looked at it. Okay. Then looked at the sky. Then he said, "Don't worry, she will walk. No problem. Everything is only minor problem she has. Some back problem. She'll be all right." Then he asked Bala to give the vibhuti basket. He took handful of vibhuti and gave it to me. So this was the human mind. He gave vibhuti for my mother-in-law. But I have so many friends, who are going through a lot of difficult things in life. If I have some more vibhuti packet, I could send it to them. So I was putting my hand. I didn't close my hands. I said, mentally I was thinking, Swami, if you could give some more, there are so many people I know whom I can give that also. Swami looked at me. Again, he put his hand on the bag and gave me some more vibhuti packet. So we think, I prayed to Swami and Swami gave me vibhuti. Now I can give it to whomsoever I want. But that is not the... Swami has already decided the vibhuti packet, the extra packet which he has given, to whom it should go. He has basically decided. We are only carriers. We are only an instrument in his hand. Thinking that I have prayed to Swami to give it to my friends and whom I know, that is not the right thing to do. But I learned a lesson on the day, because after I got the vibhuti packet, I came out. Then when I was leaving the Swami's interview room, I was praying to Swami. I walked backwards towards the door. Swami looked at me and said, Swami will give Raksha. Because I asked Swami, give me that right knowledge, spiritual knowledge, what should I do? Guidance. So he gave me that I should reduce my anger. And second, what is it? I want your protection. So as I was walking out of the room, into the room, he looked at me and said, Swami will give Raksha. That word Raksha is reflected on two incidences in my life. After Swami passed away, I had a heart attack again. And in the heart attack time, I was rushed to the hospital. In the super special, they did angio and all. They came back and said, there's nothing wrong with you. The 23-year-old, your bypass in 1988, as all the bypasses are working as if they have been done yesterday. They are patent, clean. There's nothing to be done. What you had is a very minor tremor. You don't need any medication. You can go home. When I went back to the various consultants subsequently in Apollo and everybody, they did a full CT scan, high density CT scan and all. They all said, this is a miracle. And 23-year-old, very difficult to see, because normally the bypass itself will get blocked in 15 years time. Whereas 23 years, the bypass clean, still working. It's something great. So when Swami touched my heart, keep me in the Hridaya and do my work. He actually planted me because I told him, Swami, I don't hear you properly. I have been taking aspirin. My hearing is very bad. So could you please explain to me what he said? Then he came close to me, touched my heart, keep me in the Hridaya and do my work. So while he's tapping my heart, he has cleaned up all my arteries. He has cleaned up my bypass and he's protected me from the heart attack, which is going to happen after his samadhi. So this heart attack happened on 11th of November 2011. 11/11/11. I can never forget the date. The second heart attack. Similarly, the first interview which he gave me in the Vrindavan, it was 20th of April 2004. If you divide in the middle, 20th of April 2004, 2004. So 2004, if you divide, 2004. So 2004, 2004. So that is also the days he has selected, I can never forget the date on which the first interview. Another thing what happened, Swami watches you over all the support service you do, even though it is very little thing. So in 2004, I joined Swami's institution. 2005, Swami, as usual, summer, he went to Vrindavan. So we had bought a flat in Vrindavan, opposite Vrindavan. So myself, my wife, both of us went there. One of the Swami students was doing graduation. He is also a Mridangam player. He was planning to go out and his birthday was on 29th of May. 31st of May, everybody, all teachers returned to the Prasanthi Nilayam. 1st of June, the classes, that is my classes commence. Even though Swami may be in Vrindavan, we all teachers must report on 1st of June. So 31st is the last day. So on 29th, this fellow's birthday. So his mother and both, they came to Bangalore. They were staying in a rented apartment. They couldn't get room. They worked in a small room somewhere. It was raining like hell. And the toilet is downstairs. Their room is first floor. The mother has to take bath and then, to change the dress, she has to go upstairs. And the staircase, which is actually open to the road, everybody can see her walking, half naked from the bathroom to the first floor and all. So I met them in Gokulam and then I said, I felt pity on them. I said, hey, we have a flat. Me and my wife only, 2 people. There are 2 bedrooms are there. Please come and stay with us. Okay? Go to Swami next day, have a blessing, then you can go. So I invited them, so they were very happy. They came. So on 29th morning, I got up in the morning and then I used to, as usual, I used to put Suprapadam and all those things I used to put. As I was walking, I found that in Swami's photograph, with the rose, Swami used to stand, with the standing position with the rose in the hand. In that photograph, in his hand area, the feet area, I think, Vibhuti appeared. I have never seen Vibhuti in my house. I don't believe in all these miracles. So I immediately went and called this guy. Gopal, get up. Swami has blessed you. Your birthday, no? Swami has blessed you. See, morning itself, he has blessed you. Like that. So they had. And then prepared and they all went for bhajan, and then he took a tray. The students take a tray to Swami on birthdays and with chocolate, various things. Swami blesses. As a prasadam, they returned. So he went there. In the afternoon, myself, my PhD students, we were sitting outside, the Vrindavan, Threi Vrindavan. Swami came out of Threi Vrindavan, go to give darshan. As he was going into the darshan area, through the stage, he was going to the top of the stage actually, where the huge brass Krishna statue is there. So there is a door there, side. So he was coming through that into the stage. So we were all sitting on the side, and Swami stopped near me. My PhD students, they gave letter, and he gave me Pada Namaskar. So that was the first Pada Namaskar in my life, 2005, on 29th of May 2005. I even think that the little help I did to that Gopal and his mother, who was struggling to stay in a rainy side, finding it difficult to live in a rented room. The little help we did so that they can have good darshan of Swami on his birthday. Swami blessed me with vibhuti in his room, in our house, and also Pada Namaskar on that day. So nothing goes waste. Swami notices everything. What appears to be a very small thing, but we do, it could be a big thing for him, because for him, he sees the pure heart, what he do. Okay. There are a few things I see. The heart-to-heart connection is very important, because I told you, there's no need for intermediary. So first, let me explain. 2007, my mother passed away. So she wrote in will that give something for Swami's institution, give something to Shivananda Ashram orphanage in Chennai, give something to a mental hospital. Thing is there in Mugaper. So my mother asked me to read the will before her death. I read. Somehow I did not know. Then I inquired. I thought maybe only one mental hospital should be there. When I inquired in Mugaper, there are two of them. So I don't know which one she said to give. Then I said, okay, after doing a lot of research, there's the mental hospital run by, I think, the actress Revati, called Banyan. It's a very big hospital. They were around 400 inmates. They pick people from the road. Many parents are left on the road by the children. They pick them, they take care of them, they bring them to normalcy, and then put them back in the society. So this is what they are doing. So I said, this is the right place. They look like Swami's, I should go and give the money. So I took the check, 50,000 rupees. My mother said, donate to them. I went there. I was sitting in the reception. See, I am a very typical Brahmin guy. I don't do things in Rahu Galam. Because today also I told 5 o'clock is Rahu Galam. Can I log in at 4:30 and all? So, but I couldn't log in because unless the meeting is open, I can't log in. But I put a join, and then it just keep on telling it's refreshing going on. So I'm very much oriented towards this Rahu Galam business. So I was sitting in the Banyan office reception around 12:30 on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, the Rahu Galam is 12 to 1:30. My mind is saying that don't give it during Rahu Galam. I am saying that, you're doing good things. We just give it. My mind is to give or not to give. I was dilly-dallying. I was praying to Swami. I don't know what to do. You give me, you tell me whether I should give the check or not. You won't believe it. The moment I prayed to Swami, there was a huge gush of wind. Then the reception door, the door which they kept open, it slammed and closed. The door got closed. And the back of the door, the message from her, there is no wrong time to do the right thing. Instant answer. Immediately I gave the check and walked away. Similarly, many things happened. Between me and Swami, I always ask Swami in the heart, and then reply comes. So once, the educare, all of you know Swami's educare is to bring the divinity from within. That's what the motto of the educare is. Education should lead ultimately to a good character. Character should lead to divinity or moksha, enlightenment. So educare, one person next to me in the veranda sitting there, he had a card Educare consultant. He gave it to me. No, Chase, you can have a card. I looked at this Educare consultant. I got very irritated because this is something which is actually coined by Swami, and what should be done and under Educare is dictated by Swami, and people are all Tom, Dick, and Harry are putting a visiting card, Educare consultant. I didn't like it. I was very upset with Swami. But however, I was not very clear about Educare itself. So I asked Swami, while I'm upset with this guy, this card, Educare and all, but I myself don't know, Swami, what is Educare? Can you please explain to me what is Educare? I'm asking internally. Swami is sitting in the chair in the middle. Immediately the message came. It doesn't come in word by word. The entire sentence, the whole thing appears once. The full thing. As if, you don't, it doesn't, I am telling you, do this. Now, normally that's what we have used to this worldly life. That's what we do. Whereas Swami's, message, instantly the entire thing revealed. The whole sentence is revealed. So, educare means EDU for education. Okay. C for character. ARE for Atmic realization. I said, Swami, I understand. I am a Sai devotee. I read all your thing. But if a third party person comes who is not a Sai devotee, if I tell him educare means education, character, Atmic realization, this is bits and pieces, Swami. I want a full sentence. I'm asking, Swami, I want a full sentence, so which I can tell people. Instantly the reply comes, the full sentence is revealed. End of diversity in unity culminates in Atmic realization. I don't claim, I have a connection like that. When the sincerity with which we ask Swami, with the intensity with which we ask Swami is there, he answers you like this. But if we are not focused on it like that, half focused on so like half part-time devotee, it doesn't come. Whenever I put my heart and soul and asked Swami in front of Swami, he answered me like this. Now I have to go back to Australia to give an example. So in Australia, while I was doing my service coordinator and spiritual coordinator, suddenly there is some problem with the service coordinator, because when I became a spiritual coordinator, somebody else took a service coordinator. So the service coordinator had a problem with the chairman. He resigned the job. Chairman, Richard, his name, he is a 75-year-old person. He never used to come to Samiti. He'll come at 4:45, our Samiti bhajan used to start. He'll come at 4:40. He'll bring the Swami's robe, which was given by Swami to the Melbourne Samiti. When the Melbourne Samiti coordinators came many years back, Swami had given them one blessed robe. So we used to put the robe. So the chairman used to bring. Chairman used to safe keep it and then iron it, wash it, and bring it, and then they put it in the chair. So you will come at 4:40. We keep everything else ready except Swami's chair. The robe alone will be missing. He'll come. One day if he doesn't come, so the robe is not there. So he'll come. We'll put the robe within. As the moment you put the robe, then bhajan starts. So I told Rick, see, the people have resigned. Nobody is helping me. Now I am doing all service coordination, spiritual coordination, laying carpets, setting up the puja, all the photographs of Swami, running a Bal Vikas class, running a bhajan sessions, practice sessions. There are too many things for one person to do. I said, please, why don't you do something about it? He said, Sathya Sai organization is a spiritual organization. So since you are the spiritual coordinator and everything what we do in spiritual organization is spiritual only, so you are a spiritual coordinator, you have to do everything. It was a shocking thing for me. I said, okay, Swami, you want to test me like this, test. Because I don't have a good health. I am a heart patient, bypass and all those things going on. I will do my best, but this is not the way. Okay. So one day I stood in front of Swami in the kitchen. in this photograph is in front of me here. In that kitchen photograph, there is something written at the bottom. I'll show you that photograph. This is the picture. You can see at the bottom what is written there. Bhagawan Satya Sai Baba is the head of this house. Okay, a silent listener in every conversation, an unseen guest at every meal. So this photograph is there in the kitchen. I stood in front of this photograph. I prayed sincerely to Swami. So I never thought it's a photo. Even now, I prayed to Swami. Swami, there are so many things going on in the Samiti. Nobody is helping me. And I have in my office, IBM, they are asking me to work on Saturday, Sunday, everything because for implementation and all. So on one side, I am getting booted in the office. Other side, Samiti people are not helping. So I am going to resign my position as a spiritual coordinator. I am telling you, Swami, advance notice I am giving you. I am going to go today to the Samiti. I am going to tell them that I am going to resign the job. And as I was telling Swami, the reply came. Reply is not like talking to me. The whole reply comes in one instant like that. Swami's work is more important than your office work. If your office work is preventing Swami's work, leave your office work. I was trying to leave Swamiti's work so that I can continue to do my office work and earn some money, look after my mother in India and pay my mortgage in Australia. But Swami is saying that if Swami's work is blocking, is being blocked by your office work, leave the office work. I said, Swami, I can't do that. How will I clear my loan? I'm talking to Swami, as if he's standing in front of me. There are no further answers. Then I went to Samiti. Then I said, I'll tell this chairman that I'm resigning. So that he can announce that now everybody is resigned. Let us reappoint all the service coordinators, spiritual coordinator, and within 1 week, 2 weeks, there will be an election, the selection. Swami says there is no election. They pay all those who are interested, their names are put in a box, and then you do shake and pick one. Swami selects the person. So I was waiting for a chairperson to come. That day suddenly he landed in around 4:15 or something, almost half an hour before. I said, Rick, it's surprising you are early. Yeah, I have something to tell you. I said, no, even I have got something to tell you. But I'm busy now. I'm setting up all the shrine, everything. So I said, you are going to be here? No. Then I will talk to you. Yeah, I'm going to be here today. I'm not going away. I'll go after bhajan only. Then I finish all my shrine setting up everything. Before the bhajan starts, I came to him. I said, come on, Rick, you said you wanted to say something to me. Then he said, see, my son is working in Queensland. He's alone. He's going through a lot of difficult time. So me and my wife both are moving to Queensland permanently to support him. So basically, I want to tell you, I'm resigning the job as a chairman. I am about to tell him that I am resigning a job as spiritual coordinator, and he is telling me that he's actually resigning the job because he has to go to Queensland. Then I said, oh my God, Swami is first basically getting rid of the chairperson because he's not doing anything. Then he said, okay, you wanted to say something to me. Mine is very minor. I'll talk to you. I'll tell about it later. I said, I should wait for Swami. There's some signal because there's something else happening now. I went and announced that chairperson resigned. The next day morning, next week, people whoever is willing, please kindly come and put your name. We are going to do a selection from Swami. So one person called his name Vesabu. He came to Swami about 6 months before when the Australian people came for Guru Purnima, I also been there. Then they conducted a drama called the Power of Darshan. In that, the darshan, what they say is that a girl is in the hospital, people are praying. One lady is holding a letter in hand, cancer patient, her daughter. So she's praying to the Swami, please look after her. There, she's in a serious condition and all. Swami walks in the carpet, looks at her, but he didn't take the letter. So, but when the darshan was over, as she was coming out, the phone call came from Australia saying that your daughter is now, much better now. She is getting discharged tomorrow or like that. So they basically, the darshan itself is so powerful, there's no need for Swami to take your letter. So this is the message. So this drama was conducted. In that drama, as Swami was walking on the carpet, the devotees have to sit. So as a part of the devotee setup, they have arranged on different people from different countries, like that. People have been from Africa, Australia. No, there are different people also. They selected them. So one guy is from this guy, Vesabu. He was dressed as a Buddhist monk. So they are all dressed up. Purnachandra Hall, the drama, that before the drama, they are all these people, actors are all sitting inside. Swami came down from his room and went around all these people, went to this person, Vesabu, told him, asked him, what is your dharma name? This person, dharma name, he is already bald fellow. He is scratching his head. He doesn't understand what he means with dharma name. Then Swami Vesabu, his name is Chris Wong. English name was Chris and Wong is a surname. Chris Wong. No. Swami said, no. What's your dharma name? So this guy was against Chris. Then he realized when he was a kid, his parents have taken him to do christening. In Buddhist tradition also, like Christians, they do this christening with a naming ceremony. In that, he was given a name called Vesabu. So when he said, Swami, my dharma name is Vesabu. He said, yes, Vesabu, like that. He said a couple of times, Swami uttered his name and made him to take his Padanamaskar. This happened few months before. This guy sitting in the Samiti, a doctor next to him said, hey, Vesabu, put your name now. No, Swami, you can do Swami's work. This fellow said he cannot even speak proper English. He said, no, I don't want to put my name. I can't even speak. I can't handle this. He said, come on, put here. If Swami picks up your name, Swami will help you. Why your body? Like that. So finally, with reluctant, he puts his name. And then what happened? When they pick up the shit, whose name comes? Vesabu name came. So Swami knows that after few months before that such a thing is going to happen, the chairperson is going to resign, I am going to complain. So there need to be somebody who will work very hard and who is devoted to Swami, and he picks this person and blesses him in Puttaparthi during the drama. Then next following week, I went to Samiti to set up things. Normally we go at 11 o'clock. Me and my wife will go at 11 o'clock. We come back night around 9 o'clock after all the thing over. After coffee, going to the coffee shop, talking to the people and discussing about Swami's miracles and various things. So this guy, when I went at 11 o'clock, the door was already open. I went inside, everything is already organized. All the shrines are organized, carpets are laid, bhajan board is ready. But I don't see anybody. I said, wondering what is happening. It's like a miracle. Everything is done. Then this fellow comes behind a photograph. I said, Vesabu, what are you doing here? He said, no, I am a divorcee. I am only single. I'm at home. I'm getting bored. So I thought, I know you both of you come early to do all these things. I thought, why not I come and help you? See, that's how Swami solved the problem. Then when I prayed to Swami, again the same photograph, Swami, now this guy has come, he's doing everything for me. Now I don't have any work. Then said, no more complaints. That's a message already. So whenever I pray to Swami with intensity and request him to help, the help comes immediately. He organizes and he answers your prayer immediately. Now let me tell you some technical things. Most of the time we think that Swami is a more spiritual person, will tell you to do sadhana, meditation, like that. Nobody thinks that he can answer mathematical questions also. So when Swami gave me some PhD students and MTech students for projects, one of my students, he was working on a cryptography. We were working on elliptic curve cryptography. In the elliptic curve cryptography, we tried everything, try to improve upon its performance. It's not improving. Then I was praying to Swami in my prayer room. Swami, we did everything. We don't know what to do. Flip the curve. Flip the curve. This is the message came to me. So I came running to my student. Hey, Swami says flip the curve. Let us see what can be done. So we rotated the curve, placed it differently, and tried to create new algorithm. Nothing improved. 1 week passed, 10 days passed. Then afterwards, I was sitting in prayer room. Swami, we did whatever you said. We tried. Nothing is working, Swami. You know what Swami said? I said flip the curve, not rotate the curve, idiot. So immediately, we came back. We took a mirror image of the curve. Flip means the curve is like this. You flip means a mirror image. So we took a mirror image of the curve. We placed the curve on the older curve. We have now two curves, and two curves solve the problem which we have been trying to solve for months together. And then we got a paper out of it. In fact, even today, there is one of the papers which is very widely referred in the cryptography. It is a conference paper, but still widely seen by people because it's a novel idea of using two curves to solve a cryptographic problem. So one curve. So Swami answers even the technical questions also. Similarly, another guy who did on signal processing, another student, I was asking Swami, what should I do? He said, nonlinear things. I saw nonlinear filtering. I don't know what to do. He said, make linear. Then I don't know how to do linear. Then he said, oh, do interpolation. Then when we came and did interpolation, modified the nonlinear multidimensional filter into two one-dimensional filters, whatever performance the nonlinear filter was giving, multidimensional filter, the same performance this one-dimensional filters are giving. So we got a paper out of that also. So everybody thinks, Swami means, we only have to talk only spiritual, sadhana, meditation and all. The worldly things, whatever problem we face, all he answers. Even technical things also he answers. So there's one other thing. And in the interview, Swami said, asked me, where is your wife? No, I told that she has gone to look after my mother-in-law. He said, okay, don't worry. I will call both of you on 6th. 6th, then 27th February, 6th March is Shivaratri on that year. Swami, Shivaratri. Swami will call both of you on 6th. He said. So on Shivaratri came. On that particular year, Shivaratri morning, Swami never came in the morning. So then only in the evening he came for darshan. Everybody had darshan, bhajans and everything, Shivaratri bhajans. Then we thought maybe next month 6th is going to call. We waited for 6 months. 6. So 3 months passed. There was no sign of Swami calling us. Then when I was very upset with that, very worried that wonderful opportunity, Swami calling me and my wife together for an interview, which she did not get it. So I was asking people. Swami said, Swami's time is different time. It could be 6 years, could be 6 months, it could be 6 janmas. Swami's timeline is different. Yeah. Already I'm upset. These guys are winding me up. So I said, okay. Then after some time I gave up. Whenever Swami calls. When he called us on 6th of November 2010. It was my 60th birthday. I myself, my wife, sat outside Yajur Mandir in the carpet. It was a Diwali day because I was born on Diwali. Actually, tomorrow morning is Diwali, but my nakshatra comes 2 days after. So according to nakshatra also, it came on Diwali day on that day. So Swami planning to go to the Hillway Stadium to burst crackers, the 100,000 walas and big things and all. So we were sitting outside the mandir and Swami came out, blessed both of us. He saw us. He said, wait, I'll come back and give you a sari. He told my wife, I'll give you a sari. Wait. Then we waited for him. He finished all the festivals outside. Nobody was in Kulwant Hall because everybody was in the Hillway Stadium. We were the only people sitting outside the Yajur Mandir. He came back, he looked at us, he went inside. We thought the way he was looking at it, as if we never existed there. I said, okay, Swami may be forgotten. Swami never forgets. Within few minutes, Ratnakar, he came out with a bag. He said, Swami asked me to give it to you. This is a sari for your wife. This is a dhoti for you. This is a vibhuti packet. So he gave me a whole thing. So we were blessed. When the Swami said in the interview in 2008, I'll call both of you on 6th. He knew that exactly on my 60th birthday, without going anywhere. Because most of the people, they go to Tirukadayur, the various Shiva temple to do all the prayers, to have a long life and all. We never went. Because we said, when Shiva himself, Sai Shiva is here in Puttaparthi, why should we have to go to any other temple? So we decided to be with Swami only. So Swami appreciated that and called us on 6th and blessed both of us. So his delays are not denials. So this is a very important message one should learn from my experience. And similarly, the vibhuti packet, he gave. I forgot to mention about that. We think we are the one deciding to give. When after I came out of the interview room, I called my friend, one friend. Her name is Patricia. She was in Perth. She is no more. Patty. Everybody call it Patty. No, in Tamil we call Patty means grandma. So he said, Patty. Swami had given vibhuti packet yesterday. I am sending one packet to you. Then she started crying on the side. I said, why are you crying? I said, I'm sitting in front of Swami's photograph. I'm crying to Swami. Swami, you are the only refuge I have. My son, her son, very young age, passed away, died in a heart attack. 1 week before. She was crying in front of Swami. Swami, what can I do? You're a very young fellow. You could have taken me. You could have given him the life. I'm leaving and he has gone. And all, what do? I don't know anybody now. You are the only refuge for me. She's crying. While she was crying in front of Swami's photograph, I'm calling her from India and telling her Swami had given a vibhuti packet which I am sending her. We think that, we decide to whom to give and all. Similarly, another lady in Queensland, same thing. Her daughter, she was having a schizophrenia. She was suffering for 8 years. Swami said, don't worry. A day before that only she committed suicide. She was crying, Swami, I know you looked after her. In the interview, you told me you looked after her for 8 years. Swami, she has now attained at your lotus feet. She's crying in front of Swami. And I'm calling Queensland, hey, Kani, Swami has given vibhuti packet of sending. We think we manage, we plan, we execute. In fact, when I was sitting in one of my friend's house in Bangalore, as I was sitting and talking, and then the phone call came from her husband from Bombay, saying that one of his colleagues' son is having a brain surgery, very young fellow, having a tumor. We don't know, it's a 50-50 chance he might die. So, and they were planning to go. I said, see, you went to this Halagappa ashram in Mysore. You brought the Amrit, Swami's photograph. Take it, that will help. And I also got a vibhuti packet. Swami wanted given. I'll bring it. Let us go. So we went there. We prayed for the boy. We put the vibhuti on his head. And believe it or not, the operation was successful. That boy is now working in a company. Even today, the family remembers how we went and prayed for him. Swami knows exactly, and he knows what moment, who should be there, the logistics to connect people so that the material reaches them at the right moment. Only he can do it. But we are all just instruments in his hand. And I have a lot more to talk, but now it's almost 7 o'clock. I think I will probably close here.
I would say that you have set it up perfectly for a part 2 next week, because I don't want you to also strain your voice.
No.
You see, it's important. See, these are all very practical connections that happen because our contemplation is on the Lord for an answer, and when you pray, you get an answer, right? I mean, there's nothing simpler than that. I'm sure you would want to also talk about your recovery after the surgery that you were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a part 2 is definitely on. And so I'm praying that you would agree to do a part 2 next week, and you can just take it off right from
so talking about Swami Sai Bhavadam is our life. Okay. Everybody's experiences are unique. and it is. But I am only talking about generic messages one can carry, so everybody can apply and emulate in their life. It was very unique to me. They'll say it's happened to him only. Now I don't want to talk like that about specific things which are very common.
You have no idea how connected what you spoke today has been to the last 2 weeks, where I was also talking about introspection on one's anger, and how that changes the dynamics of all the other vasanas or the good things one could have. And you talked about it today. There was also an instance of how Vibhuti goes and reaches whoever it has to reach the way it should do so. You spoke about it. So all I can say is these are, you also spoke a few things about how Swami has helped in scientific experiments. Definitely can relate to that in many things that have happened in our lives as well. So all I can say is the way the dots are being connected every satsang, it only reiterates that he's here to customize and deliver what you need to help you evolve the way you should evolve, finally to merge with him. And all of us cannot have the same path because we are different. And that is the uniqueness of his creation. And so is his uniqueness in taking us to our destination. So it is important for us to relate to whatever you have shared. Exactly. And I'm so looking forward. See, even the choice of the date. I mean, your birthday coming up. You're getting the call to speak today. I guess everything is related to his timing, right? And to be honest with you, I have been reading your Facebook posts for quite some time, and somehow the calling has been there to try and reach out, because I have no idea how the connection happens when it happens the way it does. But when it came out of the blue from Murli Anna that you should be speaking today, and I said, voila, that's the way it happens. And here we are today, as if we have known each other.
And that's the way it happened, where he completely took off from where you left over the last 2 weeks almost.
No, seriously, I'm in tenterhooks listening to it. I'm like, this is getting too creepy. It's almost where I left off. It is like a continuity. And I think very, very often when people speak their mind, when they don't mince words, there is also a lesson that we learn out of the process, and it also affects our health. I mean, I'm sure Swami made you control your anger with respect to the fact that you also have health issues, and it's important to control the aggression when it originates in the mind itself, right? Beautiful lessons. I'm so looking forward to part 2 next week, and I hope, and we can take it off right where you left. I think you were talking about heart to heart. I think you've been talking about how Swami brings you to the fold, how doing his work is the most important thing than anything else. I think you've also spoken about the heart-to-heart connection, and you get answers, the lack of needing a medium, which is very, very important in the process of developing that one-to-one with Swami. And you've also spoken about how whatever prasadam from the time of Shirdi, the magic of Vibhuti reaching wherever it has to go, whether it was the Udi or the Vibhuti, has been the same, and you've spoken about it. And I hope you can continue taking off from these, and I'm sure there are more that will happen.
I'll only conclude this with a small incident.
Yes, please.
That will probably close it today.
Please.
It is keep on telling me internally, tell that out.
Please.
In 2015, I went to Australia to settle certain financial things. And then I landed in Australia because we left in Australia 2004 to be with Swami. 10 years we were not there. Almost 11 years I was out of Australia. But in Australia, there is all the citizens, they have a Medicare. We are all insured, because we pay 1% cess in our income tax. So we are all covered. So I assume that when I land in Australia, since I am an Australian citizen, And whatever deposits and everything I had in Australia, I've been paying, the tax, whatever necessary tax I've been paying. So I am automatically eligible for a health insurance cover. So being a heart patient, I don't want to be left in the lurch. So I didn't take any insurance there from India. Okay, I landed there. I went to first thing because my card, which is Medicare card, was expired. So I wanted to get a new card. I went to the office. They said, sorry, you're not eligible. Why? He said, people who live outside for 10 years and all, they cannot come and do it unless you prove it to us that you are coming back for good. That you're gone there for some whatever work is there. You have finished all your work. Now you're coming back for good. Now you are going to contribute to the economy for the Australian thing. And then only we will start covering. Otherwise, people come and only for medical thing, they come and go. We don't want them to use our exchequers, our taxpayers' money. I said, hey, don't talk about taxpayers because I have been paying tax money for 13 years. And all the deposits and other things and investments I have, that I have been paying tax even while I'm away. So you cannot say that I am trying to siphon your system. That is not correct. No, sorry, this is the rule. They told me the rule book. So when I came back home, I was very upset. What do I do? If something happens to me in Australia, the expenses are so high. The money which I'm trying to recover, the superannuation fund money, everything will go in no time in hospital expenses. So, what do I do? So I was thinking, whether get out of Australia, get insurance, come back, again, come back, all the thoughts of things going on. Then I was taking a cup of coffee. I was staying with my friend's house. They are Sai devotees. In the kitchen, they had a photograph of Swami standing. So I was drinking coffee and like this, and suddenly I looked at the bottom of the photograph. There was a message. It says, Swami's grace is the best insurance one can have. It is available unlimited. Like that. So what it means is that, hey, when you have my grace, why do you bother about the other insurance? There's no need. Lord's grace is it's unlimited. So that I will show you that photograph, everything, because it will taking time. So what I'm trying to say is that whenever we have a grace of God, yeah.
Last 3 days, somebody has been talking to me about insurance, and we've been having a chat saying, Swami is there, what more insurance do you need? And there you go.
See, maybe that's the reason, I was very much tempted to talk about this, tell like that. So I have in the insurance, Swami, just show you there. Swami is the best insurance one can. See, I'll read it, what is at the bottom of the photograph. The grace of God is like insurance. It will help you in your time of need without any limits, Baba. The grace of God is like insurance. It will help you in your time of need without any limit. At least insurance has a limit. They'll say that this much only we can cover and all. So Swami, the seeking His grace is should be our focus, and doing His service, committed, and then keep everybody smiling around you. That's most important. That's all it is. Swami always says, no, don't put a castile face. Keep smiling. Swami always says. So never put a castile face. That's all.
Absolutely, sir. What a better a message that can be for Deepavali, when we have to light the lamp of love inside us, such that grace or the insurance flows abundantly when we need it. We can draw on it, and all that we can do is to pray for others, because that is also a way they can secure His grace when bank balance runs out. So what a beautiful message to finish the evening on the eve of Deepavali, and
we wish everyone a happy Diwali.
Exactly. Thank you so very much, all of you, for having joined on Deepavali Eve, and thank you so much, sir, for being with us this evening. And so looking forward to having you. Just for academic purposes, incidentally, we didn't do a proper technical introduction, so next week we'll do the technical introduction of sir. We have really spoken about the Sai side, but there's a lot of fact where he dwells in between spiritual intelligence and artificial intelligence. So let's go into that next week when we introduce him. So
Thank you.
this week has been all about spiritual intelligence. So let's leave at spirituality today, and let's get into the worldly part of introducing him next week. Until then, loving Sairams to all. As always,
Happy Diwali to everybody.
Happy Diwali, and as always, it's nice to know who the speaker is because there's no uncertainty. My prayer is all of us are there to listen to part 2 together, because there's nothing like energizing each other, being together, listening to Sai Bhagavatam week after week. With that, loving Sai Rams and Samasta Lokas for now. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Oh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba Ji Ki
Jai.
Sai Ram, everyone, and happy Diwali to one and all. Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
Happy Diwali.
Sai Ram.
Bye.
Sai Ram.
Bye, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.